Welcome to Cooking with the Cook Sisters, brought to you by the United States Botanic Garden. We're very pleased to be with you regularly to offer online cooking demonstrations and home garden tips.
I've got beans and potatoes and leeks and peas and basil.
Hi, I'm Danielle Cook.
And I'm Adrienne Cook. Today we're bringing the garden into the kitchen.
And we're going to make a hearty, seasonal minestrone.
And that is a traditional Italian soup. So let's get cooking.
I invited Adrienne to come cook the minestrone with me, and she brought the last of her garden harvest.
In the temperate days of a long fall, basil leaves just puff out with pride. Their leaves come in dark green and with a spicy aroma. Likewise, hardy fall greens, such as mustard, respond to the cooler nights. Their foliage becomes lush and lusciously flavorful. Fresh shell beans, harvested before they've had a chance to dry, are a real treat this time of the year. Their sweet, almost pea-like flavor and crispy texture will add a wonderful note to our minestrone. Cool-loving leeks get a real burst of growth in the fall. They can be harvested almost any time from fall through winter, and their flavor is sweetened by a kiss of frost. If you thought the green garlic only grew in the spring, try growing your own garlic. You'll find yourself harvesting green garlic in the spring, but also in the fall. What a treat!
I also shop the farmer's market, so we have plenty to work with. I'll start by browning some cubes of veal. Many minestrones are meatless, but we're having this as a hearty dinner, so I'm using meat in mine. You could also use small pieces of stew beef and even chicken. Browning the meat first, whatever you use, helps sear in the juices. Remove the meat and begin sautéing the vegetables. First, we'll do the onions, leeks, and garlic. When that's fragrant, I'll add celery. Then I'll add some carrots and 4 to 6 cups of chicken broth. The meat and the beans take the longest to cook, so I'm going to let them simmer together, covered, for 20 minutes. I have to say, I am so excited we've been able to use so much of your garden in this minestrone.
I am too.
That's a great thing about this soup. You just work with whatever you have in season.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
It's different in the summer than it is in the winter.
It is. Yeah. It is. Tell me about this basil of yours.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's very unusual to have basil this late in the year. The weather's been perfect and the basil's okay. There are some dark spots on it, you know, you just get rid of those.
Right.
That's all.
Right. Well, I'm so thrilled that I did so much canning of my tomatoes.
I know.
Well, we're using my homemade marinara sauce in the minestrone. And if you didn't have that, this would be fine.
But you could also just puree tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, if you wanted to.
You could.
Yeah.
You could.
Okay.
Speaking of which, I have a question.
Yeah.
About my tomatoes.
Yeah.
Can you come with me out to the garden?
Yeah, let's do it. This will wait till later.
Okay. So my tomato plants are still growing.
They are. Look at this. There's blooms on them. Look at that.
I know. So I'm wondering, is it time to pull them all out? I have a lot of green tomatoes still, and I keep harvesting.
I think leave them on as long as you can. When it starts getting cold enough that we're getting a freeze, then you're going to have to pick everything off of these vines, and the vines will probably die back. That'll be the time to get them out. But once they're dying back, and after the freeze, you're going to have to cut all these tops off in order to get them out of these cages. Look how big they are!
I know. Adrienne just can't help advising me on my garden. She has me promising that I'll make holiday wreaths with the rosemary.
With this stuff, I mean, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
It smells so good.
I know.
They're beautiful.
I'm so excited. That's great.
Yeah,
I was worried they were starting
to
they're
just
perfect.
Get
like
they're
stalled.
doing exactly what they're supposed to do. They're gorgeous.
Hey.
Christmas time. We've got tomatoes.
And now let's get back to the minestrone. This is my slow cooker marinara that we're going to use in the soup today. It's beautifully chunky, but I want it smoother for the minestrone. You can substitute a store-bought marinara instead. Depending on which vegetables you use, some will need more or less time to cook. The green beans, zucchini, and potatoes are next on my list. I'll also blend in the marinara sauce. Meanwhile, Adrienne will busy herself chopping the mustard greens and her beautiful homegrown basil. The mustard greens, or whatever greens you choose to use, only need a couple of minutes, so we'll put them in last. Well, maybe not quite last. Let's add lots of beautiful chopped basil. All right, it's ready. Let's dig in.
Oh my God.
So
wow,
sweet.
That's good. Wow, that is delicious. I can't wait till dinner tonight. There we go.
Well, thank you for all your vegetables.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's been great.
We'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon.